All right, we are in a new shopping area, ready to put on the solar panels. Look at this beautiful panel. Vince is taking the second one out of the box, and I'm going to help him bring it up on the roof, bring them both up. Are you excited, babe?
I'm excited. Get some electricity going. The sun's out, so I'm making electricity right now. I'm just not using it. I gotta get it up there.
Yeah, he's excited.
Hi, everybody. All right, it is time for the solar panels. So I got two 160 watt panels to give 9 continuous amps at full light and 100 amps a day of power. So I got just some 1x1 aluminum angle iron cut at 1 foot, and there's the tape that goes underneath it that's going to stick it down. These go right to the edge. I mean, I don't have any extra room. I thought I would. I do not. So, and then I'm going to put a small bracket in the middle to lock it down in the center and screw it down. So first I start with alcohol. With rubbing alcohol, 90%, that's the most I can get, 91%. And I'm going to clean off underneath to try and get the best sticking I can. Yeah, sure. If you straighten it, that'd be good. I'm also using Lexol. This is a newer, expensive, very expensive, waterproof, flexible adhesive. Don't really need a sealer because I'm not poking holes. I want to actually glue it down. So that stuff is very similar to goop that you put on your shoes. And I've been using that stuff for years and I absolutely love it. It works amazingly. Okay, so there's that. And that looks straight. You can help me here, hon. Okay, so I've cleaned off underneath, peeling the tape away. And then we're sliding. Oh my gosh, that stuff's sticky. All right, so if you can hold this up for me.
Okay.
In the middle. There you go. Trying to get it pressed down really good.
It's heavy.
Yep. Let's set that down for a second. And actually, if you could just hang around for a bit. Right, so now I'm going to goop this inner edge. Since I can't put it out, I have to put the flanges in. So I'm going to goop this inner edge while my lovely assistant, I'll give it here, holds it up for me. Okay?
It's heavy.
Okay, hold on. Gotta get this outer edge. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now we gotta hook the wires up to these wires. Can you go grab the blue scissors, please? And the wire strippers, they're black. They have a bunch of little holes in the middle. So we have positive. Make sure we got the plus and minus right, everybody. Kind of important. Perfect day out here. Partially sunny, not too crazy hot. just perfect weather. So I spoke with the certified solar technician who I bought these panels from. He confirmed that 14 gauge extension cord with all 3 wires hooked together is an acceptable amount for one. You know, this is positive, this is negative. So it's an acceptable thing to do as long as you use the whole, all 3 wires. So maybe, I'm sure you guys, someone out there knows that that's not right at all, but all I can say is I verified, and nice little cap he gave me. Positive, negative. No, positive, all right. Positive, positive. Positive. Watertight cap. Alright, and there's the goo coming out the bottom, so we know it's watertight. And then we're just going to electrical tape it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's silicone actually coming out the back end. And that confirms that now it's going to be watertight. And then we're just going to do this. That ain't going nowheres. Alright, so let's do this.
So I just saw on Facebook a picture of Mark Happily Houseless posted of he's in his new van.
Yeah.
Looks amazing. He looks very happy. Isn't that cool?
It's very cool. We all got what we wanted.
And it looks finished. The insides are all finished and beautiful.
Yep. That's what he wanted. Yeah, he did a video talking about what he was going to do to it. Which wasn't a whole lot, but...
Yeah, it looks amazing.
And I got some of that goopy stuff on my elbow. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to put this on now.
Vince likes to make messes when he works.
Lets me know I'm working. So that'll go on now.
That just kind of keeps him in place.
This is a glue. So this
No,
is,
I mean that bracket.
yes, the black. We're gonna screw into the bracket.
Oh.
We're gonna screw into the bracket, holding onto here.
Okay.
So we're not actually we're not screwing into the roof. We're gluing the roof like with these.
Oh. Okay.
Right. Okay. So now we'll come over here. Good thing it's a big roof because there's a bunch of junk up here. Okay, so now we're going to, oh, look at all the alcohol that's spilled.
Yeah, that's what I was smelling.
Oh, okay.
You just dumped it over.
It's sitting in it. It's
Like I said.
okay, so we're going to lift this back up. Well, let's put it in its place first. There we go.
What's all this paint that's on the roof?
This is something Mark did. He resealed it.
Oh, okay.
So that's his good deed. It's his good deed for us. Okay, so have you roll that up for me? Just like that high, just a little bit. That, now set it down right there. And it back up for me. Oh, hold on. Set it down. I didn't check the edge. Okay, good. Hold it back up. Boy, this tape, this stuff that's supposed to replace screws, it actually really is, it locks down. I used it inside the Sprinter to make some hooks for tools, and just a piece of plywood and on some on the plastic siding, and amazingly it held like crazy, and it didn't come apart. I didn't know because it's just plastic how it would work, but it did work well.
Your knee is bleeding.
Yeah? Where?
Just nicked it.
Oh. Okay. Alright, so here's the 3M VBH 40 something. And here it goes. So we lift it up, make sure everything's lined up, set it where you want it. Set it down like that. And then I'm going to lift it up here and see if I can do this one-handed. Already, I can't move it at all. If you look at that metal, already, look, I can't. Okay, if I pull it long enough, it takes a couple hours. But it's that quick how sticky this stuff is.
It is pretty sticky.
Okay.
It's the perfect amount of stickiness.
Okay, so here's the glue going on. And luckily, this stuff's expensive, so it looks like I'm only going to need one tube of this to make it work.
Very cool. So you'll return the other tube?
Yep. So get my finger wet so it doesn't stick.
How much is that stuff?
$9 a tube.
Okay.
I don't know if that's really, people think that's expensive.
Well,
but
that's another lunch for us at Chipotle.
that's true. We love our Chipotle. Okay. And then we set it back down. Alright, so there's that, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take self-tapping metal screws.
You don't have to talk so loud, honey. It's really loud.
Self-tapping metal screws and screw them 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way around, so there'll be 12 screws holding the solar panels to the plate. Alright everybody, I am going to try and show you screwing this in with the self-tapping metal screws. I'm alone now, so probably not going to be the best shot, but we'll see. Alrighty, so here we go. Self-tapping, I don't know what size screw, number 6 I guess, bigger than 8. I'll tell you what, that goopy stuff, that Lexon or whatever it's called, that stuff is really goopy. Ooh. Go. One panel corner locked down. Now I have several to go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that Lexon goop stuff on each thread itself right here so that it won't thread backwards, so it won't screw out. I don't know if Loctite will work with aluminum, but I know this other stuff will probably. Alright everybody, here we are. I have the panels up, screwed in, and glued down. I will show you the final product. I used all the rest of that tube of glue just since I don't have anything else to do with it. So I made sure it was really glopped down inside and out. And here's the finished product. As you can see, I put a bead on the inner edge too. On this inner edge all the way along, and I have my wife hold it up. so there's an inner edge bead and an outer edge bead, and there's a little bit on the screws so they won't fall out. Here's the joiner in the middle to connect them up. And then the wiring, of course, which is waterproof capped, electrical taped, and then underneath each panel, so no way to get water in there. So those panels are screwed down good, and the tape supposedly is enough to do the trick, but with the glue along with it, those guys aren't going anywhere. So there you go. There's 320 watts of power. Bam! Alright everybody, so I'm doing the electrical wiring inside, and I am using all 14 gauge extension cords to do this job. So pretty vital that you label everything, because all the wires are the same color. So this is what I'm doing now. This here is a connection This is my connection between my positive and positive battery, since it's in parallel, not in series, which means, if you're not sure, that means it's 12 volts. So I have two batteries equaling 12 volts. I'm just doubling the amp hours of the system. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm going to use two of these together to make that connection, which will be equivalent to a 00 or something like that. 002, more than enough to handle connecting two batteries together. And this is just the long part of stripping everything, making sure everything's plugged into the right place, using labels so that you can verify it, and more importantly, so that 6 months down the road when you go to make an upgrade or a change or something, it's easy in my head right now, but how is it going to be in 6 months' time, in a month's time? So that's another reason that you label very well for your future self to come and look at it. Or in the case of my school bus, which I did label very well, I sold it, which I thought I never would. And so now the next guy can very easily read my instructions or see my labeling and see where everything went. So this is 6 14 gauge wires. We look that up for thicknesses. We can see that that'll hold a lot of amps. And from experience in the bus, I did the same thing. I doubled up 14 gauge to do all this stuff with a much bigger system, much higher amperage solar system, and had no issues whatsoever. It worked great. Alright, so here's the finished solar system. I got my two AGM batteries, 95 amp hours each. I have my Thor 2000 watt inverter, which is showing 12.5. I have my Morningstar TriStar TS45. It's designed, I could have gone way smaller, but this does a really good job of keeping the batteries properly charged. And then here's all my red wire connecting everything up. I have double checked, there are no anythings, it's the proper voltage, and yes, I will be paying very close attention on a full hot day or a full usage day what these wires feel like, what's happening. But like I said, I've done this in my bus with a system that was twice as big as this and didn't have any issues with heat. And I didn't even go as far as I did on this one. This one I actually did more, I was more careful, just because, I don't know, because I knew I'd be doing videos and everyone would holler that I'm not doing it right. So here it is. charging. It's late in the day, but it definitely is starting to charge. And I'm a happy camper. Tomorrow I have to spray paint the side of the solar panels to make them white so that they look, so they can't be seen from the side.